the van. It's coming together. Hey again, guys. Will here. Still continuing the van build here. Vlog adventure. Willderjess van building. Willderjess adventure. We're currently to a point of adding some framework, getting the cabinets, we've got the bed frame built, but we got to put it back in. You can see here we got our wheel well water tank assembly carriage assembled, as well as the one for our other wheel over here. It's really good, but it's going to be for the electrical components. We'll have the water tank and all the water stuff over here, passenger side, electrical, the driver. Did a lot of staining and clearing with some polyurethane over the weekend. We're going to get the water tank and everything sealed down to the van, get it covered in, and we can start assembling all that. You can see we got our panels up. They look pretty good. Showroom finish. Anyway, y'all, thank y'all for following along and sticking tuned with us. Staying tuned, sticking tuned, one of the two. We see here we got our wheel well assembly frames, getting them put down, just to cut squared off the flooring, put it back in around it. We got our 2x4s ripped down, made out of 2x2, put them together with a Craig jig, and then running them in with screws with the 90-degree angle attachment on the impact. Works real good. Coming in with our leftover insulation and spraying it in with our 3M90 spray adhesive. We got the tank. Say 25-gallon tank. Amazon. FarOutRide.com. It's the same tank they had, so figured it would work. If you haven't checked out that website, it's a mighty good one. I highly recommend anyone that's building a van or interested in building a van to check out FarOutRide.com. They do a very good job of explaining in detail anything, so check them out. Here is our covering for this piece. Cut us a visual reference tank slot, so can't beat what the naked eye can see, you know. Plus when you're filling it up, you know, you'll be able to see it going up. Anyway, the tank, you know, seems to be a pretty sufficient RV. I mean, it's classed as a RV freshwater tank. So, I mean, if it works as advertised, we'll be in good shape. Having no ruptures or leaks. We can see here the frame in which it will go. The front and back being paneled, in which the side over here, the tank will sit in this area. We got us a manual sight gauge with all the plumbing holes needed. It comes with 2 1/2-inch, this is the inside diameter thread size, just regular NPT threads, as well as these are 1.5 inches, which it comes with both of the bigger 1.5-inch holes plugged. Cutting this one out for the fill. This one will be the vent, and this will be the drain and the supply. So I don't want to really cut this one up unless I have to, so less holes the better. I mean, since I went super cheap mode with the ultra effective visual water gauge here, which what I'm going to do is put a light in here in this frame once I get it all electrified, which was the stuff going over here. You can see we got cables run going to the battery charger, but back to here anyway, we'll get this thing plumbed in. So get started with that, get started with the electrical, finish getting everything looking good. We're almost finished with the installation. The final tidbit of the roll came in that we need to finish. We can get that completed. Okay, we'll do a quick shot of all of our water system components here that we're using for the plumbing. Don't worry about the caliper gauge. But if anyone has used PEX before, it works really good. It's a good system. You know, it definitely has its drawbacks and benefits like anything else. But being one benefit to it compared to PVC is you can bend it and flex it, move it. As you see, the PEX half-inch, that's half-inch. I think it's a 20 or 25 foot piece. It was like $7 at Lowe's. They already had it cut. You can just get what you want. You know, you pull it down off the wall and take it. And which these are all the PEX components, which this isn't. But this is actually part of the pool. It was in the pool and spa department. But it is on that tank. This is 1.5 inch, you know, MPT thread, which this is an 1.5 inch to 1.25 inch inside diameter hose, which the hose flange, let's see where that thing go. This drain, or actually the fill port, which being it came as 1 3/8 inch or 1.25 inch. So they also had right there in with the plumbing department, the 1.25 inch hose was what they had available. So was able to get this, which it has the 1/2 inch vent hole in it, so your tank will breathe when you're filling it up. It won't take forever to fill up. So this will plug straight into the vent hole or the fill hole on the van or the tank, dang it. Which we got, you know, these are 1/2 inch to 1/2 inch MPT. There's so many different ways and terminologies of what you're saying. And MPT threads is just basically regular pipe thread. So however that's listed, there's like 5 different ways of NPT, MPT, whatever. So 1/2 inch barb fitting. Then we got, you know, just basic splice connectors, couplings. One of those. Got some elbows, got some T's. We got some female swivels. These copper clamp rings, and then some mounting hardware, as well as 2 ball valves here to cut it on and off. And with PEX, you know, all this says Shark Bite, which that's just a company to make it. And there are those Shark Bite fittings that you can buy that are expensive as the devil. One of them is, you know, $5 just for a little coupling. So you can get all of this for like $20 here. And you can do everything. So, you know, plus you got more, you know, use with, which the kick whack with using PEX, you know, compared to like PVC or something, is you have to have the PEX crimping pliers, in which the house I live in, everything in it's PEX, so I already had these. And you have to definitely plan out and have some logistics to your system and how you're going to hook it up with even doing the plumbing in the house. You got to be able to get those pliers in there to crimp it. If you can't do that, you can't put it back together. So anyway, there's a quick show of that, and we'll give some more details along the way as we go. All right, we can see we got a somewhat finished product in terms of our water system. In this box is the water tank. We can see we kind of got it somewhat plumbed up here. This is going to be the vent, which we got the inlet, and here is the outlet from the tank, which are water gauge. In the outlet, we come out, go through a ball valve that cuts the system on and off, which then goes back in along under the wheel well to up in the front where we have our pump system. But back below our T here is our drain ball valve. So to drain the whole system, we can just simply open this ball valve and release all the water if anything needs it, you know, for freezing weather applications, winter. But we see our PEX. I mean, I got a buttload of daggum clamps on here, which you have to, you know, essentially squeeze each one with our PEX clamp pliers here. But we got our male fitting on the bottom there where we can screw a water hose clamp on or something. And again, we'll just have a fill. I'll build in something here once I get the bed frame and I'll build back in. But we get the tank encapsulated with our leftover 3M insulation to keep the water in there cool and from freezing pretty much. Hopefully to minimize that. And then, so like I said, the water line comes through the bottom and coming out here, which we said we got our pump, and we'll take our pump and plumb in, and the sink and everything will go in this where the sink cabinet galley is going to be. I want to say thanks to everyone. Thank y'all for the support, comments, and all the love and the feedback. It really helps. We're new to all this process, the van building and the journey, filming and everything, all the above, and been really enjoying it. And it's grateful to be here to be able to do this and bring some content to some folks, and hopefully they can learn something and we can kind of engage and go along the way. Again, I'm Willderjess Adventures. We got a blog up and coming, and if you guys we really appreciate it if you check it out. It's willderjess.com. Y'all go give it a look. We're getting some juicy tidbits and pictures from our journeys and what we've done from along the way, as well as some how-tos and maybe some trip information and guides. And we're going to expand and go from there, and really happy to expand our repertoire in terms of social media engagement. So hopefully wish us luck with our next adventure and venture. Again, Will here, Willderjess Adventures. We appreciate everything. You guys stick and stay tuned, and adios. Sneak peek here to the electrical system. We kind of got this stuff kind of piled up, but we got our battery and whatnot laid up here. DC to DC charger, fuse blocks and panels, breaker boxes and switch.